Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Bible Illustrated Cat. I apologize for the lack of updates on this channel, but as you know, the split second I start up dating the main channel, this one gets sidetracked and vice versa. But I'm trying to even it out. This is one of those videos where I have actually prepared the notes for it, because I'm very opinionated on this subject, so I just wanted to have all of the ground covered. Today's question comes from Matt's Approach. His question is, how do you come to believe? It is not just a matter of clicking your fingers after all. I'm new and trying. I'm attending church and doing Bible study, etc. Is there something else I should know? And of course, the mandatory turning off of the monitor because of the glare. Thank you for your question, Matt's Approach. Coming to belief is one of those things where Christianity provides a great answer. Like, how do you convince yourself that God exists? For example, you do not believe in God, but you sort of want God to be real. But if He is real, will He show Himself to you? And if you pray for Him, if you pray to Him for Himself to reveal Himself to you, will He do it? Because after all, the Lord does not, fulfill prayers that are not prayed in faith. So how do we solve this conundrum? Christianity has the way, but you will sort of have to wait until the end of video for it. I'm being tad clickbaity right now, but it's not really that. It is just the way I've structured the video. I really won't go into the etymology of what word faith means, but I will say what I won't go into details, but I am going to explain a couple of aspects regarding it. When people say faith, they tend to mean that you have a conviction about something. For example, I have faith in God because I think or am absolutely sure that God exists. An atheist does not have faith, therefore he is sure or thinks that God is not real. However, this is a very reductionist view of faith, because it isn't a conviction. Faith is so much more. It is a gift of God. So us as Christians believe that we believe, after all, because God gave us this gift of faith. Second, it isn't a mere conviction. It is also our trust and love for God. So while I may be absolutely certain that God exists, He might not grant me any of my prayers because in the end of things, I may not love Him much or at all. I'm just happy that He exists, that there is an afterlife, and woohoo, that's about it. Even though I might not end up in the good afterlife, if you know what I mean. So, that aspect of faith being a gift of God is very emphasized in Orthodox Christianity, and that is why during our Eucharistic services, called Divine Liturgies, we pray the symbol or creed of faith, where we state our faith in the triune God. This is actually so important that in general, Orthodox Christians will pray this creed at least once during the day, generally during morning prayers, but they might also include it in the evening prayer rule. I personally do that. The symbol of faith isn't a mere statement of what we believe in. It is also a prayer to God for faith, because faith, after all, is a fickle thing. I might not become a full-fledged atheist, but I simply may stop practicing my Christianity, or I may do all of the outward things, but simply be a whitewashed tomb within, And that is why we pray the creed, and we pray it so often, because we are constantly pleading to the Lord that He would sustain our faith. Now, we also need to know that faith isn't emotion, Just because you don't get teary-eyed at the mention of the Most Holy Trinity or Mother of God or saints or some miracles, or you get teary-eyed during the reading of the Gospels or Bible in general. These things can be good, but again, in Eastern Christianity, it is emphasized and overemphasized that using your emotions and especially imagination in prayer is a very dangerous thing because it is fickle. Demons can very easily deceive us by this. And I think that Francis de Sales has used a great image of a child that holds a peach during the surgery of his mother. And the child is crying and he's having his heart wrenched at the pains of his mother. But when the mother says, "Child, please give me that peach," he, he holds on to it. He doesn't want to let it go. And that is the great trouble with imagination. And emotion. It can give us an impression that we are at such heights of piety, while we might be, and in most cases really aren't anywhere near any heights of anything except perdition, So that is why these things are dangerous. It is even said by the fathers that the drier our prayer is, in the sense of our personal emotional investment, the more powerful it is, because we are not getting anything out of it instantly, those pretty feelings. Oftentimes when you attend long services in the church, or when you do some serious praying, you do feel well afterwards. In a similar way, you feel well after a good training and so on. However, if these things are left out, it's even better for you in the long run. But I think that the Lord gives us these little comforts in order to make us persist, because if we were dry all of the time, I think that sadly a lot of us would fall away, because us humans are, after all, fickle beings, and we need a bit of a reward and punishment system, and of course periods of dryness, in order for us to actually advance on the spiritual path. I want to comment more on the fact that faith isn't a mere conviction. First of all, we have demons. Demons are absolutely certain that God exists, and they probably know much more about him than a good deal of us. However, I'm pretty sure that a lot of saints actually maybe not know, but definitely experience God more than demons do, at least demons in their present condition. It is said in the Epistle of James, demons believe, but they do not have works, So what good is faith to them? Literally nothing. And atheists especially have this tendency. Well, if only God appeared to me, I would believe. You would be convinced that he exists, but that is as far as you would go, which is something I referenced in my video, Better Reasons to Convert, on my main channel. The Jews in the desert have seen all sorts of miracles. I like to say that the Lord blew his special effects budget during the plagues, and yet the split second they got a little bit hungry, they not even that's fascinating thing. They literally invented their own god. They didn't even pray to Wadjet or Thoth or Nefertiti or whoever. They didn't even turn to old gods. They simply, well, we are going to make one of our own. There's something fascinating about it when you think about it, like that craving for originality. I'm pretty sure that there were a lot of artists, simply waiting for their moment when somebody suggested a cough. Probably some of them initiated the idea. So I'm speaking from personal experience as an artist. So again, I remember this conversation I had with an atheist, and I told him, listen, simply pray to the Lord to give you faith. And he said, well, I did, and he did nothing. Atheists generally believe that God is simply this happy end wishing machine, and that is why generally they don't believe in him, because it is a caricature of God. atheists generally do not believe in the caricature of God. If more of them had a proper view of God, I would be absolutely certain that there would be less atheists. Of course, I mean, one can only dream, but yeah, that's that. Simply, the Lord will give him faith in due time. When the time comes, we do not know. And in the end, that person may reject that gift of faith, it is all about our free will. And again, to the original poster of the question, it is a very good thing that you actually want to come to believe, that you want to improve your belief. You said that you go to church and everything, and those are all of great things. But and this is what I have referenced at the beginning of the video. How does Christianity undo that vicious cycle of how can I improve my faith into someone of whose existence I'm not certain, or with whom I have a very faulty relationship? And the gospel gives us a very easy answer, and that is the father of a sick child who kneeled before Christ and said, "Lord, I believe, help my unbelief." So there simultaneously we have faith and admission of a faulty faith. Again, whether you are an atheist who wants to believe, or a very pious Orthodox Christian who is very regular on sacraments, almsgiving, fasting, everything, I think it would do us a lot of good if we would just take this one short prayer, "Lord, I believe, please help my unbelief," and say it from time to time. Again, I think that all of us would reap huge profit out of it. Spiritual, of course. I'm not promoting any sort of prosperity gospel. And finally, for something more practical, this is something very individual. For me, attending church services and reading lives of the saints is a sure way for me to prop up myself spiritually. Different things may work for you. I have noticed that as of recent, in the circles that I'm moving around, YouTube videos also tend to do this for some people. They definitely don't do it for me. Like, I did see very spiritual, useful videos, but never have I seen a video that was like, "Oh wow, this is the thing that will, push me out of this mire." But then again, this is me. For me, the lives of the saints and the church services are the way to go. Especially the lives of the saints, because they're sort of, you're literally entering the world of a person who gave their all for Christ. Maybe not instantly, some saints really had to work a lot to get where they are. And I would say that this is a common theme for all saints, but it's more apparent with some than others. But for me, this is something that really helps me a lot. And of course, what I always say, talk with your spiritual father, showcase these things. Sometimes these things are simply temptations that go away the split second you speak with your spiritual father. I can't even begin to count the number of times I have had some spiritual problem. I did not discuss it with my spiritual father. Then I decided to do so, and the split second I started telling him all of this, I got the solution for that problem in my mind, and then he says that exact same thing, and I'm like, why I didn't do this before? Easy. Demons. Okay, bye.